was approved under Michael Bloomberg, who only believed in market rate housing. He did not build for low-income New Yorkers or middle class or people earning $70,000 or less in New York City, and we still feel those impacts today. So when I was in the council and I chaired the zoning committee, I passed something called mandatory inclusionary housing. All right, you're going to do some research on that. But it now mandates developers to put affordable housing into anything. If they come to the city of New York and say, we want to do so on Jamaica Avenue, you may be allowed to build a 7-story building by law, but if you want to build 10, you have to come to me as the borough president to change it, and you have to go to the city council. So in the city council, I passed a law that mandates developers have to do a minimum of 25% of affordable. And in some cases, yes, and in some cases, if it's a city finance project, so if the city is subsidizing the project, which means they're using your taxpayer dollars to invest in the building, they are mandated to put homeless units in there. So they have to do 15% of the units have to be set aside for homeless families. So that's how we're making a dent in Queens. There is going to be, and I would urge you, this is new, and I'm talking about it openly now because I want people to start hearing it. We are looking at another action for Merrick Boulevard, Gaia Brewer, Jamaica, and Hillside and Liberty. And during that conversation, we're going to be having these same conversations with the mayor on how much subsidy are you putting into these developers. Of course, they're going to be mandated to do the floor of 25 or 30% or 40% in some cases. But now we want the city to invest to make sure, because when the city puts taxpayer dollars in, it's basically lowering your rent. And for a lifetime, just about 40 years minimum in most cases. So that's how we're gonna fix that issue. What I will say about the buildings on Jamaica Avenue though, is it's not so when you think of gentrification, you think of other people coming in. You would think that there are not a lot of black and brown people living in those buildings, but it is. And they're working class people who work for the city. They're your black lawyers, they're your people working as engineers in JFK. So we often think about when we see that, oh, this can't be for us. But if we're working hard and you play right, you will be able to afford it. Now, of course, I do think some of the rents are a little high on Jamaica Avenue, and I was shocked to go into some of those buildings because my perception was your perception. This got to be gentrification, but it's when you go and you're going to see young professionals my age, younger, who live in those buildings, who have access to weight rooms and the rooftops, and they're living a good life because they're working and did the right thing, or are doing the right thing. So, but I hear you on these next actions coming up. Those are the questions we're going to ask the mayor.